Do you know when ChatGPT was launched, OpenAI was spending every week the same amount of money hosting the server than it actually took to train the model? And in terms of energy, that is equal to the carbon emission of one Falcon 9 rocket launch every 10 days. To fix this, one of the biggest improvement in these model efficiency is something called KV cache. Now, OpenAI claims prompt caching can speed up your agents by 80%, and at the same time, you can save up to 90% of the input token cost. In this video, we will look into detail the 6 best practices for maximum cache utilization. But we will start from the basics, like what is GPU KV cache, how to create a stable prompt, how request routing works in OpenAI under the hood, and how to set it up in APIs and see how much we can save in terms of cost and latency. So let's get started. Now, what is a GPU cache? Alright, so understand why prompt caching even works. We need a peek inside the GPU for a second. Modern AI GPUs don't just have one type of memory. They have this ultra-fast, ultra-expensive memory called HBM, high bandwidth memory. Think of it like RAM on steroids. And it's blazing fast but also extremely limited in size. Now, every time you send a prompt to a model, two things happen internally. First is the prefill phase. This is where the model reads and processes your entire input prompt. All those thousands of tokens you sent, the model has to pass every single one through every single transformer layer. This is computationally expensive. The longer your prompt, the longer this takes to generate these so-called KV tensors. Then comes the decode phase. This is where the model actually generates your answer, one token at a time using the KV tensors. When the next word comes, instead of processing all of them again from scratch, we use our previous computed KV tensors and use it to generate the next token. We skip the entire prefill computation for those tokens. These KV tensor cache is GBs in size and heavy on memory, but makes token generation blazing fast. Now that you know what KV caching is, let's see what is a stable prompt. In our OpenAI APIs, we have to define a system prompt, attach some tools to our agent, and also force it to give a structured JSON output. We then put our user message and get an AI message, and the series of messages keeps on getting added. Once cached, in the next API call to OpenAI, if you break a single token word change, the whole cache of KV tensors after the token will break. This even means the order of tools and their internal parameters. OpenAI needs a minimum of 1024 tokens to even enable prompt caching on its side. And after that, it starts to chunk 128 additional tokens at a time. Therefore, you can also pad the prompt if needed to let it reach 1024 tokens at least. This will speed up things and also save you cost overall. So the API can cache at 1024, 1152, 1280 and so on. Therefore, always put dynamic content at the end of your prompts. Okay, but in a multi-GPU scenario, how does routing work with the same server where our KV caches? To do this, the hash of the first 256 token is computed and routed to a server based on a random value. The prefill happens and the KV cache is stored. On the next call, the same starting 256 token remain the same, leading to the request hitting the same server again and using the KV cache. One thing to note here is that a lot of users are using the API simultaneously. And if more than 15 requests per minute is done by the same user, the request might be sent to some other server to avoid congestion and overflow. Alright, so after all this, how much time and cost are we saving? OpenAI did the experiment and found 67% faster time till first token when the prompt were 150k tokens. The longer the input, the bigger the impact of caching on the first token latency because of bigger prefill phase. You can also see the input tokens that are cached are returned and priced different, saving from a whopping 50% and up to 98% caching discount in some OpenAI models. So how to implement this in OpenAI APIs? We can simply set up a parameter called prompt cache retention. For in-memory, the cache is retained for up to 5 to 10 minutes of inactivity and maximum 1 hour if the traffic is low. You can also set it to 24 hours with no additional cost. If memory gets full, the KV tensors are offloaded to SSDs in the same machine for up to 24 hours. To track how much your prompt was read from the cache, in the response under usage, you have the cache token parameters. That was it about how prompt caching works. And now that you are a caching pro, let's discuss the top 6 best practices to maximize your caching utilization. Number one is multi-agent scenario. Let's say we have two agent prompts which are very different but have the same starting 256 prefix tokens. Due to heavy load, the agent prompt A ended up in server 1 and prompt B in server 2. And the responses were created and also cached in the server. On the next iteration, the agent A prompt might end up going to server 2 because of the same prefix, leading to a big cache miss and deletion for agent B prompt. To avoid this, we should always use the prompt cache key. This value is used in the router along with the hash to send the request to the right server. This also helps to distribute requests better and keep the overall traffic less than 15 requests per minute for a prompt. But in some scenarios, it can also lead to more miss if the key you have set is too unique or infrequent. Next we have is context engineering. We saw how a stable prompt is created. Context engineering is about injecting the right context data into the LLM context to steer its output. Things like present date or configs like user data that you fetched meanwhile, or even doing things like summarization when you see the context is getting too large. All these things actually breaks the prompt, and one should carefully look at the trade-offs of cost, accuracy and speed while doing this. Next is dynamic tools. Remember how the number of tools their order can break the prompt cache? Therefore, if you cache your set of tools a lot on different agent calls, there are chances cache would break. To fix this, you can first mention your full tool set and create your agent. Then afterwards, use the allowed tool parameters to limit the set of tools the agent can call at runtime without breaking your prompt cache. Alright, next is using Flex to increase cache hits. OpenAI offers different service tiers, and if you have latency insensitive workflow, you may also be using the Bash API. For more flexibility around caching, consider using Flex processing. It's the same 50% discount on tokens, but on a per request basis. You can control the RPM, use extended prompt caching, and include a prompt cache key with the request, leading to higher cache hit rates. Flex is best when prototyping or for non-inference intensive production workloads. Next is using the responses API rather than the completions API. OpenAI upgraded from chat completions API for better performance. Internal benchmark shows a 40 to 80% better cache utilization on request when compared to chat completions. This is because the raw chain of thought tokens get persisted in the responses API between turns, leading to better overall performance. And finally, real-time APIs. OpenAI also has super fast real-time APIs where caching works similar to the responses API as long as the prefix stays stable. Cache hits are preserved. But when the context window is exceeded and the start of the conversation shifts, cache hit drops. Given that the context window of the real-time API is much shorter than our frontier models, currently only 32K tokens, this is even more relevant. Retention ratio is the parameter you can use to slide the context window after a fixed context window limit. This creates a more stable prefix that survives across multiple turns, reducing repeated cache bursting. But the trade-off is you lose large portions of conversation history at once. That means the model may suddenly forget earlier parts of the dialogue sooner than with gradual truncation. Here's what this impact looks like in a naive per turn truncation approach versus using retention ratio. The cost was significantly down with higher retention ratio. That was literally all about prompt caching in general and how you can do it in OpenAI. Thanks for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.